How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a settings menu in Godot. Now I'm going to be picking up from the end of my make a pause menu tutorial, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. But I'll also make this video easy enough to follow that if you don't want to watch the other one, you don't have to. You'll still know how to make a settings menu by the end of the video. Alright, hopping right into things, the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my pause scene. And you'll see here, we basically have our pause menu in a control node. I'm going to just duplicate that. So I'm going to add a new control node. And for right now, I'm just going to name it settings menu. And I'm going to go into the inspector and set the visibility to false. Inside of my pause menu, the only thing that I have to add is a settings button. So we're going to add a new button. And we can call this settings. Put it in the middle between resume and quit. Give it the text settings. And then I'm going to go to signals. I'm going to do pressed. And I'm going to add that to my pause menu code. Now when we press this, what we want to do is we want to make the pause menu invisible. So we can say visible equals false. And then we want to make the settings menu visible. So in order to do that, we can just say get underscore parent. That's going to grab this canvas layer up here. Dot get underscore node settings menu dot visible equals true. And then what we can do is we can go into our settings menu. And for right now, let's just add a child node of HBoxContainer. And inside of that, we'll just add a label. And we'll give it the text settings. This way we can just make sure it's all functioning. Give it a test run here, run the program, press escape to pause, click settings. And there we go, we have the settings menu. Now for the time being, while I'm editing this, I'm going to make the pause menu invisible here. We do make it invisible with the code when we run the program, but I'm going to make it invisible right off the bat and make the settings menu visible. So the same idea with the pause menu, I want to add a panel here. And this panel is just going to be roughly the whole area of the screen. I do want to make it slightly different just so that it really indicates that we are in settings and not just in pause. So to do that, I'm going to go to visibility, self-modulate, and we're going to give it, I don't know, maybe like this kind of light blue texture. We do want to center this settings text, and we can do that with the whole VBox container. So if we select that, and then we go to layout, we can change the layout mode to anchors, and we can just pick center. Now it still looks a little off, but that's just because our settings menu as a whole is a bit off. We need to make it the same size as the game scene, and now that looks centered. There's a couple of settings that we're going to want to add here. First off, we're going to want to add a H slider. This will be for adjusting the volume. We can call it volume. We're also going to want to add a mute button, so we'll just do a checkbox. We can add an options button. This will be for windowed or full screen mode. We'll just call it screen mode. And lastly, we're going to want to add a back button to go back to the pause menu. So just a simple button here, and we'll give it the text. We can also name it back. The next thing that we want to do is create our script. So let's right click, attach a script, and we'll just give it all of the default stuff here. The first button that we're going to connect here is going to be the back button. So click on back, signals, pressed. And then we don't want to hook it up to our pause menu, we want to hook it up to our settings menu. So what we're going to do here is basically just the inverse of what we did for the pause menu, and we want to show settings. So we can copy that, paste it. We're going to set visible to false, and then we're going to get the opposite scene node. For this one, we're going to get the pause menu. And then there's one last thing that we have to do before we can test this. We need to go into the settings menu, inspector. And if we scroll down here, we'll go to process, and we'll change the mode from inherent to when paused. And this will allow us to use the settings menu when the game's paused. Also, I want to make sure that I drag my panel up here so that it's at the top of settings menu, just so that it doesn't overlap poorly. Now we can set the settings menu to invisible, run the game with F5, press escape to pause, click settings, and click back. And you'll see we can swap back and forth. The other buttons we haven't set up yet, but we will. So now we can look to set up our windowed versus full screen mode. So if I go to 2D, settings menu, And then we're going to want to set that to visible again, just to make things a little bit easier. I'm going to make this a tiny bit bigger. I'm going to go to the whole VBox container, hold Alt, and just make the sizing a little larger. What I want to do now is add a little bit of an indication for all of these. So we'll start with the screen mode, since that's the one we're working on right now. I'm going to add a HBox container. Go up here, put screen mode inside of it, and then also give it a label. The label will just have the text screen mode, and then inside of our screen mode, we're going to add a couple items. The first one is going to be windowed, and the second one will be full screen. We're actually going to be defaulting in full screen mode, so I'm just going to swap these over. Put full screen at the top with an index of 0, and we can put windowed mode with an ID of 1. It's important to keep note of what these IDs are because we're going to be using them within the code. And then we'll set selected to 0 so that our menu just defaults to full screen. Let's also hook up our button here so we can go into signals. For item selected, we're going to be putting that in the settings menu. Now what we want to do when the item is selected is we want to match the index to something, so we can say match index. Basically what we're doing here is just checking what the value of index is and doing different things depending on what that is. So if the value is 0, we want to set it to full screen mode. So we'll say display server dot window underscore set underscore mode, and we're going to set that equal to display server dot window underscore mode underscore full screen. And now we're going to actually do basically the same thing, so we can just copy this and paste it. If it is 1, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to change this last word from full screen to windowed. So now this should work theoretically. The one thing is we do have to make sure we have our project settings right. Godot does default it a bit differently. So you're going to want to go into your project settings, go to display window, and then let's just search here for mode. First of all, like I said, we want to default to full screen here. And then we also want to be able to stretch out our screen so it doesn't look all weird. So let's just go with viewport. Let's close that. Now if we run our project with F5, pause it, we should be able to change between full screen and windowed mode. Nice, that's working great. So we can go back, quit the game. So since the next couple involve us having audio, I'm just going to add some audio real quick. I'll add this basic audio here, and then inside of my main scene, I'm just going to add a audio stream player. Drag the audio in over there, and we're going to autoplay it. So now if I run my project, now that we have audio, we can go back into our settings menu. We're going to hook up that mute button. We can go to signals, toggled. We're going to set that into our settings menu. Inside of this, we can just say audio server dot set underscore bus underscore mute 0, and then we're going to pass it that value of toggled on. So if we save this, we run it, we should be able to see that if we mute it and resume it, there's no audio. But if we run it again and we unmute that, we have the audio now. And again, just to clean it up a little bit, I'm going to add another HBox. Do the same thing that I did previously. Give it a label. And I'll also add a HBox here for the last one too. You'll see here though that our slider became really tiny. Obviously we don't want that. So what you can do is just go into your volume slider, look for horizontal, go to layout, container sizing, click expand, and that'll give it the full rest of the width, which is what we want. And then while we're in here, let's change the max value to 1, and we'll change the step to 0.1, and we can set the default value to 1. Now we can go into our signals, go to value changed, double click the settings menu, that's where we're going to be putting it, and we can get rid of this line and replace it with audio server dot set underscore bus underscore volume underscore dB 0, comma linear to dB, and we're going to pass in that value that we give it. And since this should be it for us, we can set it back to invisible, run the program, go into our settings. Let's lower it all the way here. Click resume, and we don't hear anything, which is good because that means it's working. If we raise it just a little bit, I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but it is playing very slightly. And of course, if we go back up towards full, we'll get a much louder version. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, let me know. And if you run into any issues or have any questions, also let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.